Now, since everyone needs health care insurance, is the Affordable Care Act right for you? What are some of the major pros and cons on the new law, and what are some of the major changes that everyone should know about? After doing much research on this and reading into the new laws of Obamacare, I have learned a lot and would like to let you know about some of the things that everyone should know. I picked this topic to talk to you about today because it is one thing that I think everyone should know more about and everyone will have to deal with. There are 4 different ways to be covered by health insurance now, which is by an employer, the government, by your own, or none at all and just pay the penalty. There are many new laws that go with this act, which some of them are good and some are bad, which I am going to just mention the ones that we should be the most concerned with. Now, for all Americans, it is mandatory to have health insurance. So, how will this help? Making it a law to have health care should help people of all ages to have health care at a reasonable cost. The Affordable Care Act should give 30 million people health insurance, which is about 1 in every 10 people. People that will be covered by Obamacare will be about 2.5 million people. This will also expand Medicaid to 138% below the poverty level. This would also equal these people making between $15,000 and $16,000 a year for a single person. An additional 16 million people will now be eligible due to this. Government will match the cost so lower rates are possible, but that money will end up coming out of taxpayers' pockets. Making health insurance mandatory also has an effect on businesses. With the Affordable Care Act, businesses with more than 50 full-time employees must give health care coverage to them. This is good because this is very beneficial to employees having benefits like this. If companies do not cover their employees, they will have to pay a penalty. They also are now starting a new thing where companies with less than 50 employees can be offered a tax credit if they provide health care coverage. Now, there are some cons to this too. Businesses are cutting employees' hours though, so that they do not have 50 full-time employees. Due to having to provide health care, this adds extra costs to businesses' overheads costs, which they are starting to cut wages out of employees to make up for some of these. There are many different things that the new law will do for citizens and business owners, some good and some bad. So what are some of the bigger changes for people? This new law will affect young adults and older through the different guidelines. Young adults are highly affected by this in many ways. Now young adults are able to be insured under their parents until the age of 26. This helps insurance companies make more money due to more people are able to be covered under them now. In 2012, after this law, more than 3 million people were able to be insured that were previously uninsured under their parents, according to the Health and Human Services. So what or who is planning to pay for all these new rules to the health care bill? Well, young adults under the Affordable Care Act health plan will pay more so that it will help give tax credits to the older people in society. But with the new law that young adults can be covered under their parents until the age 26, makes this money not coming in and could end up costing taxpayers more than expected. There are many things, even if you don't take Obamacare, that will change everyone's insurance under the Affordable Care Act, due to having to have the 10 essential health benefits for all plans now. Some of these 10 essential health benefits are that it has to cover hospital visits, doctor visits, maternity care, mental health care, prescription drugs, preventative services, and pediatric services. There's also some new changes where they cannot put now there's a cap of what people have to pay out of pocket, and there's free preventative care now. Insurance companies cannot deny anyone, even if they have pre-existing medical conditions or if they are sick. Now, some people may argue, why would somebody pay for services that not all Americans need? An example of this would be a single male does not need maternity care or pediatric services if he is not planning to have a child. Some people would also argue that they do not need mental health care or preventative services if they don't go to the doctor. There are many good things and bad that this bill has in store. So just like any new thing that the government decides, there are always things that people will agree and disagree with. The real question is, though, are we taking a step forward or backwards from this? I hope you learned a little more about the Affordable Care Act and have a better understanding on the topic.